a strap or some kind of belt or something ready to go?
Got a band.
Got a band, yeah. And anything that you can use as a strap. I always think if you don't have a band, that the dressing gown, the belt that goes around the dressing gown is pretty good, as long as you've got something. Wonderful. So we're going to start by doing a really gentle but warming, just sun salutation A 3 times over, and then we're going to come into some really deep, gentle leg opening and hip stretches today. So finding yourself stood at the top of the mat, that's where we're going to start off today. Welcome to those that have just joined us on Instagram. So, sit at the top of your mat. Roll your shoulders back and down. Find your breath. Maybe just setting up the music or anything that you've got with you if you want. Just ground yourselves down into the mat, closing your eyes, becoming aware of your breath. Taking a big breath in and out. And a big breath in and out. And then nice and gently draw the chin down towards the chest. And we're going to roll all the way down to the mat. We're going to let the head hang heavy. We're going to let our fingertips maybe brush the floor. And we're just going to let our neck relax. Maybe shaking our head no and nodding our head yes. And just becoming aware of that tension that you may have got in your hamstrings. If you need to bend your knees, then please do so. So we're going to be working a lot into these today. And then nice and slowly walk your hands all the way out into a plank position, taking it gently to start off with. So lower your knees down to the floor, untuck your toes, look forwards. And we're just going to slowly lower ourselves to the floor. We're going to hang out in cobra for a breath. So we're going to lift up, roll the shoulders back and down, breathe in and breathe out. And then tuck your toes under and press into a downward facing dog. And we're going to hold down dog for 3 really big deep breaths. So bend your knees if you need to. Let the tailbone be nice and high. Look towards your belly button and let the head and the neck relax. Try and push the floor away from you with your palms. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Nice and slowly we start. Slide again forwards into a plank position. We're going to take our knees again down towards the floor, untuck the toes. We're going to hover down to the mat and we're either going to find our little baby cobra looking forwards or maybe coming to the start, a half up dog. Don't lock the elbows, just opening through the back. And then tuck your toes, and we're going to press back into downward facing dog. We're going to step our feet forwards, come into a forward fold, let the head hang heavy, the neck be long. Inhale into a halfway lift, look forwards, flat back. Exhale, we take it down. And then inhale, we roll all the way up to stand. Take the palms together at the top. Exhale, hands heart center. We're going to go for one more, this time pure sun salutation A. Palms together at the top. Exhale, bend the knees, fold down, take the hands down to the floor. Step, walk or jump back into a plank position. Pull the belly in, lower the knees if you want to, and we slowly hover on an exhale down. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. And then as we exhale, we find that downward facing dog. Again, holding here for 3 breaths in and out. Breathing in and out. Wherever you are in your living room, maybe outside, just become aware of the sounds around you. Become aware of your breath that wave-like noise that it makes as you breathe in deeply, a slight restriction in the back of the throat. And fill the deeper parts of your belly with air, and then let it go. Walk your feet forwards in towards your hands, hang in a forward fold. Let the head hang heavy, the neck hang long. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, look forwards. Exhale, we take it down. And then inhale, we roll all the way up to stand. We take the palms together at the top. Exhale, hands, heart center. One round of sun salutation B. Inhale, lift the arms up, palms together. Exhale, we fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Take your hands to your shins or fingertips graze the floor. Look forwards and flat back. Exhale, bend those knees. We step all the way back into a plank position. Lower the knees if you want to. And we gently hover down to the floor. Inhale, little baby cobra. Exhale, down dog.
You chaturanga down to the floor.
Breathing in and out in down dog. Just gonna mute you guys. In and out in down dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Wonderful. And then we lift the right leg up towards the sky. We bend the right knee. We bring our right foot forwards and place it in between our hands. Lower the left knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale, send the arms up towards the sky. Stay with the breath as we exhale. We bring the hands back down to the floor. Tuck the left toes under. Take the right foot to the back. Lower the knees down if you want to. We slowly hover down. Inhale, little baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. And then the left leg lifts, sending it high, bend the left knee, bring the left foot forward in between the hands, lower the right knee, inhale. We find that lift in our low lunge. Exhale, we bring the hands down, tuck the toes under, take the leg to the back, find the plank. And again, lower the knees if you want to. We hover to the floor. Inhale, little baby cobra. Exhale. We're going to take down dog. And then we're going to walk our feet forward into that forward fold. And let the head hang heavy. Find your elbows, maybe rock from one side to the other side. Breathing nice and deeply here. Relaxing in and out with the breath. Releasing any tension. And again, becoming aware of those hamstrings. Nice and slowly we roll all the way up to stand and then we come down to sit on the mat. So if you've just joined us on Instagram, we're going to come into some deep stretches using a strap or a band. Those of you on Zoom, I hope you've got your band and everything ready. And we're going to start off by lying on our backs. So lying on the floor and take the strap around your right foot. We're going to push that right heel up towards the sky and keep our left leg bent to start off with. Keep pushing through the right heel, lifting the leg up as much as you can. And we're just going to play with flexing and pointing our toes. So we're going to dorsiflect, even though we're pulling it in. The band is going around the ball or the mid part, the arch of the foot, flexing, drawing the toes in towards you. Your hand is just left hand resting on the hip and your left leg is still bent. And then play with pointing the toes. And again, flex the foot and point the toes. And then gently start to pull that leg in even more. And we're flexing through the foot. We're going to hold in that flex position. Holding onto your band maybe, or your strap, maybe wrapping your hands around it for a little bit more grip. See if you can push your heel away from you. So you're going to create tension, and we're going to come into a stretch called a P and F stretch, which is actually proprio-neuromuscular facilitation, but I won't expect you to remember that. Basically, we're working with traction. So pushing your heel away from you as hard as you can. Push the heel up towards the sky, flex the toes down towards you, and we're going to hold that contraction for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Ever so slightly bend at the knees, just a micro bend, and see if you can start drawing that leg a little bit closer towards you. Keep that hold with the strap, and then push the heel away, straighten the leg. Try not to lock the knee out too much. And you want to push the heel away again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax ever so slightly and see if you can draw the leg in a little bit more. Maybe at this point you can start to let your left leg straighten and come out and away from you. Keep pushing through that heel. Again, push into the heel, forcing it up towards the sky, getting the contraction. You want to be squeezing your quads here, engaging that big muscle in the thigh. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And then last time, see if you can pull it in just a little bit more. And it might be that you've made your leg now a little bit past 90, maybe you're at 90 degrees and your left leg is completely relaxed. Maybe you've just drawn it in a little bit more than you normally would. Bend the knee, release the leg, and change that the left leg is up towards the sky. That right foot then comes flat down onto the mat, still bent like it was on the other side to start with, and we're pushing that left heel away. And again, the strap is either in the just under the ball of the foot or on the arch, and we're going to play with pointing and flexing our foot. And just feel the difference through the back of the leg as you do this. Maybe it travels into your calf, maybe it travels down through the back of the knee into your hamstring and back up again. And then finding that flex position, this is our dorsiflexion where our toes are drawn in towards our shin. And we're going to come into that PNS stretch, so where we're trying to get that tension, that traction. So we're going to push the heel away and we're going to hold that contraction, keep pushing, lengthening through the back of the leg and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then ease off a little bit. Bend the knee a little bit, see if you can draw that leg any closer towards you. And again, push through the heel, straighten the leg, and we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. This time start to straighten your right leg, drawing the right leg out and away from you, and see if you can draw that leg in even more. Maybe you feel that as your right leg is straightened, you've got that movement through the pelvis, your leg can't be as upright as it just was. Can you work on drawing it into that position and really relaxing that right leg? Push the left heel up and away, and we pull it in and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slightly bend, and then one more, push through the heel and hold, pull it in towards you as much as it will go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend through the knee, just relax a touch, take the right leg in to join the left inside the strap, and we take both of those legs up towards the sky. Keep pushing through the heels, lengthening through the back of the legs and draw them in towards you until you find 90 or as near to 90 as your legs will allow you to today. Bend the knees if you need. Find that breath. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And then bend your knees, and we're going to rock ourselves up to seated, maybe in 1 or 2 rocks, and we're going to come into a seated position on our mats. Release your left leg. Pull your right leg in with the strap, maybe just allowing your wrist to be secure around the strap. Lift up, and we're going to lift that leg up and off the floor. And same thing, we're going to flex through the foot. Try not to lock the knee out too much, but look forward and lift that leg up as high as our bodies will allow us to. Try to prevent this rounding through the upper body. Lift the left, pull, lift your chest, pull your chest in towards the thigh, roll the shoulders back and down and hold. Pull in. You don't need to hold the strap, maybe you can hold onto your foot, or maybe just use the strap as leverage. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now see if you can open that leg as wide as possible for you today. Just taking it out to the side, holding again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently bring it back. Take your left hand onto the strap. Maybe wrap it around so it's secure. Take your right leg over to the left side without rolling onto the left, and take your right hand behind you. Keep pushing through that heel, lifting it out, maybe this time coming into the IT band, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, release the strap. Hug that leg in towards you. Take your left hand onto your right foot, your right hand onto your right knee. And we're just going to slowly manipulate the ball and socket joint in our hip by moving it like you're rocking a baby from one side to the other side. Wonderful. Now take it so you're stirring a pot one way and the other way. And then take the right foot all the way over to the left-hand side. Wrap your left arm around your right knee. Take your right hand behind, lift the chest, look up, and start to turn to look over that right shoulder. Breathing it in and out. Breathing in and breathing out. Coming back to center. So you have an option here. You can either stay with your left arm wrapped around your right, and maybe this is enough, especially through the outside of that right glute med. If you want to, bend your left leg and wrap your left leg around to the right. So you come into this cross-legged position. In this position, you're still either hugging that right knee in and looking over to the right side. If you want to take it even deeper into the hip flexors, bring your fingers down to the floor and start seeing if you can draw your head down towards your knee. You want to wrap the right foot as far over to the left as possible so that the hips are stacked. You can probably see that my foot is tucked under rather than flat. My fingertips are coming down to the floor, and I'm just bowing my head, allowing it to get into those hips. Again, hold for a couple of breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And then gently release. Release both of those legs, and we come back down into a seated position with our legs out in front. So we're going to repeat all of that onto the other side. So taking your strap around your left leg, pulling that left leg in, and we're going to lift the left leg up and off the floor. So again, you want to be secure in your strap. You want to keep pushing the heel away, lengthening the leg, opening here, trying to lengthen the heel as high as it will go without rounding through the shoulders and the upper back. So try and find length, height, pushing the leg away. Don't look out too much through the knee, slight micro bend. Bend the elbows if you need to. Look up past the toes, and we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. Take the strap into your left hand, and we're going to open the leg as far out to the left side as it will go today. Keep pushing through the heel, keep lifting. Your right hand is there supporting you, and we're holding this position for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then swap sides. Bring the strap over, take a grip of it with the right hand. We take our left leg over to the right side. We're not rolling over onto the right glute. We're still keeping grounded through our glutes, but we're pushing our left heel over to the right side. The left hand comes behind us, and we're taking that twist. Breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And then nice and gently come back to center. Slowly release, and we wrap our left leg over our right thigh. Our left arm wraps around and goes behind us, whilst our right arm comes around the left leg. We look past the left shoulder, relax your face, relax your jaw. Take a breath in and breathe here. Feeling the stretch maybe through the outside of the left glute. Opening through the lower part of the lungs by really breathing deep into them. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And maybe you want to stay there. Maybe that's good for you today. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can maybe bend your right leg, drawing it around to the side. Drop that left glute back to the floor, and we're drawing that left leg back over to the right hand side. So if I shuffle back a bit, you can see me on Zoom, you can see me on Instagram. I hope you're still with me. This is quite strong through the hips. If you have really tight hips, I know some of you guys do, then just keep your right leg extended out in front of you. If you want to draw it in even further, take your fingertips out to the side, and we start bending through those elbows and just coming down towards our knees. A slight hover, breathing in and breathing out. And you'll find that your hamstrings and your quads might be tensing here. See if you can just relax them, relax the hip flexors, breathe into it, inhale and exhale. Slowly we roll up. We release both of those legs, and we're going to come down to lie on our fronts. Make sure you've got the band near you, and just find a stretch lying on your front. Slowly, we're going to reach our right arm back. We're going to take our hands, the left hand down to the floor, head onto the back of the left hand, and reach the right hand for your right foot, and just pull it in towards you. Big breath in, and big breath out. Big breath in, and big breath out. And then gently release that side. Change it over so you're placing your head on your right hand, reaching back with your left hand for your left foot, drawing the heel into the glute and holding here, stretching through that left quad. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhaling, and then gently release. Come up onto your forearms, lifting your chest, and this is called our Sphinx pose. So we're looking forward, opening, breathing, and you'll find that your shoulders might have come up by your ears. Can you lift and look forwards? Find the breath, breathing it in and out. If you want to take it any further, you can push into your palms and see if you can find a little bit of height, but just be mindful of your lower back. Squeeze your glutes if you need to. Inhaling and exhaling. And then gently bend through those elbows. Push into your palms. We're going to take a little cat and cow to just realign the spine. This is a really good movement to try and do every day if you can. So inhale, look forwards. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round through the back, push through the shoulder blades, look towards the belly button. And again, inhale, we lift up, opening, breathing. And exhale, we round, send it back. And then come on to your knees. So we're going to come into even deeper quad stretch and continue with those hamstring stretches. So you want to take your strap around your right foot. So when you've got the position around the right foot, be mindful that this sometimes can be a little bit, you can be a little bit off balance. So if you've got something around you that you want to hold on to, then please do. But we're going to come into a lunge position. So we're going to send our left leg forwards, our right leg is back, and we've got hold of the strap. We're then bending through the knee and just seeing if we can bring the strap over the shoulder and drawing it in towards us. Start to walk your left foot a little bit further forwards and really sink into it. So you're drawing yourself down into that lunge, but you want to make sure the knee is still over the ankle. Maybe you can start walking your hands further back on the strap and draw that leg further in towards you. So it's quite strong through the quads, so please be mindful of that. Please be gentle. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And then see if you can start pushing your right foot against the strap. So similar to what we did in our hamstring stretch, you're coming into that PNF, that traction. So see if you can push your foot against the strap. You feel this muscular contraction in the front of that quad. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. See if you can draw the foot in a little bit more. Still holding on to the strap or the band. And again, we're just going to push against it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let go of the strap, take it down towards the floor, and we're just going to counter pose through that left leg and our back by taking the fingers down towards the floor, flexing and coming into the left hamstring here. So you've got your left toes drawn in towards the shin. You're still bending through the leg a little bit if you need that micro bend. The fingertips are down on the floor. We're looking forward and we're finding big deep breaths as we try and release tension from the hamstrings, maybe back into the calf. And then just start bending back and forth through the knee and the quad, finding a little bit of movement, a little bit of a release here. Wonderful. And then bending through that left leg, come to your cat and cow. And again, we're just going to realign our spine. So inhale, look forwards, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back and down. As we exhale, we tuck the tailbone under, we press in towards the palms, we look towards our belly button. And again, inhale, we lift the chest, we look forwards, we open here. And then exhale, we tuck the tailbone under, we push into the palms, and we find that angry cat. We're going to lift up and we're going to come straight into the other side. So finding your strap again, and we're going to wrap the strap around our left foot. Bend through the knee, pull it in up and over, but before you do this, take your right leg forwards, bend into it, try and find a little bit of balance, and then start to lift that left leg up and off the floor. The left knee stays in place, obviously, and we start to bend into our right leg and come forwards. So you might find that one side is tighter than the other. Just be careful and aware of this. Lift your chest, try to look up and forwards, and start to draw that left foot in even more so. So you can find the stretch in the quad. And you might find that playing with coming forwards and backwards a little bit, maybe moving your right foot a bit further forward so the ankle stays aligned below your knee. And just open through that quad. And again, we're going to come into that traction. So we're going to push our foot away, make sure you've got good grip of the strap. And we're going to push it away for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Maybe you can pull the leg in a little bit closer towards you. And one more, push against the strap for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we release. Let go of the strap. See if you can just bring your hands down either side of your right foot, straighten through your right leg, and we just start to rock forwards and backwards into it before we come into a hold where we straighten the right leg, flex our right toes in towards us, and hold for 3 big breaths, 2, and 1. And then bend into the leg, bring the leg back. And one more time, we're just going to find that cat and cow. Inhaling, looking forwards, lifting the chest. Exhaling, sending it back. And just hold here in your angry cat, maybe rocking forwards and backwards ever so slightly, trying to release any tension through the upper back. And then finding neutral. Take your knees as wide as your mat. Take your big toes to touch. Sink your glutes back onto your heels. Push the arms out in front of you. The forehead comes to find the floor. And we find a little bit of a pause in our extended child's pose. Breathing here, in and out. In and out. Wonderful. Nice. And then coming up from your child's pose onto all fours. Good stuff. So I've turned straight on, so I hope you can see that on Instagram and Zoom. We're going to extend, I'm going to mirror you, so your left leg out to the side. Obviously, if you're next to a partner or a friend, just make sure you don't take them out. Wonderful. and then come up onto your fingertips, and we're going to lift all the way up. So if we're in this position here, we just want to maybe bring your hands either onto your hips or into prayer, and we're just going to start playing with flexing that foot and opening that rotation of the hip. So we're going to lift the toes up, and we're going to push our heels out and away from us, and see how far back you can take your right toes behind you and then bring it back in again. So it's a really small movement. You're just opening here, lifting through the toes and rotating on the back of that heel. Good stuff. And then again, we're going to bring the hands down to the floor, and we're going to sit back onto it. So you want to sit the weight back onto your left heel. Support yourself as much as you need to with your hands, or maybe come onto your forearms, just depending on how you feel. You could be slightly rested a little bit higher on your haunches. And then in this position, we're going to repeat that same process. So we're going to see if we can open through the leg, just drawing our toes back, rocking over and rolling over the back of that heel, and feeling that movement through our adductors, maybe going into the hamstring, the back of the knee. And then release. Bring the knee down towards the floor, bend the leg, bring it in, lift up, and we send our right leg out to the side. So again, lift up, bring your hands to your hips or into prayer. And again, we're going to draw our toes back, flexing through the foot, and see how far back we can move. Now just become aware as you do this, your whole pelvis may want to sway to the side. Try to prevent that movement of the pelvis to the right. So you're just trying to move your leg. So there will be a slight movement to the right side, but you're just trying to open up through those internal hip flexors. Just rotating through the back of that heel. Good stuff. And then bring the foot down, bring the hands down. Maybe you can sit back onto your left heel. Maybe you're just slightly up on your haunches and resting on your forearms, whatever is working for you today. And again, we're just going to come into that rotation, seeing if we can flex our foot and draw the foot back a little bit. Working into the back of that leg. And then bend the knee and bring it in. We're going to lift up and come into our frog pose. So this is really strong through the inside of the legs. So you want to take your feet out nice and wide, and you want to open your knees out as wide as they will go. So it's not the most, I'd say, either elegant or great looking of poses, but it's really good for those adductors again. So you want your feet to be out, so you again got dorsiflexion, so you're drawing your toes up towards your shins. Your feet are parallel with the edges of the mat, and well, the sides of the mat, like the rails of the mat, and your shins are then parallel with the edges. So you're creating like this square shape with your knees and your shins. You're then pushing into the heels. So you're pushing the heels, the feet back in towards the floor. So the whole of your shin is flat or resting on the mat. So you don't have your heels up, your heels are down. And start walking your hands in to support yourself, and see if you can draw the weight backwards, sitting your glutes down behind you. Now you don't have to take this very far to feel a really deep stretch here, so just be mindful, breathing as you do it, and seeing if you can then come onto your forearms. Maybe you can take it a little bit further. I'm going to sit back so you can see me a little bit clearer on Zoom. I'm on my forearms. I'm seeing if I can sit the weight back a little bit more. And I'm just going to hang out here and invite you to find your breath. We breathe in and out. Breathing in and out. And you want to see if you can hold it just a little bit longer than you're naturally inclined to do so. So just working with your neural system here, allowing it to stretch a little bit further than it may be comfortable to do so. not causing any pain, but just allowing that stretch to have a little bit more longevity. And then gently come up and release. Bring your toes in towards one another and see if you can sit back onto your heels, opening and lengthening. Wonderful stuff. Bring your fingers onto the floor, bring your knees together, tuck your toes under, and we take a downward facing dog. And just pat it out through the back of the legs. Bend each of your knees individually. Just see if you can shake it out through the hips. And then bring your knees together, your knees down onto the floor. Take your feet out a little bit wider and just start playing with bringing them back in and back out again. And just see if you can get that external and internal rotation a little bit further. And then come up. So our second to last, our penultimate yoga pose, we're going to come into our yogi squat. So I would recommend, if you're inside or you have books or maybe pillows or cushions or something around you, if you want to, maybe place it underneath your heels. So you're putting something underneath here. So I'm just going to demonstrate that with a block. Maybe you could use a rolled up towel, something that you've got to hand easily. If you have got the flexibility in your hips to do so, you can bring your heels completely flat to the floor and find that yogi squat. Wherever you are, either with the block behind your heels, I'm just going to demonstrate with that so that you can see, or with your heels down on the floor, lift your chest, open, breathe here. Wonderful. And if you do have the block underneath your heels, or you're on the balls of your feet, just see if you can take your feet a little bit wider. Good stuff. And see if you can lower them any closer towards the floor. And if this is enough for you today, I'd recommend staying here for 5 breaths. And again, just see if you can stay a little bit longer than that natural inclination. If you want to take it further, bring your hands down, walk your hands in, lift your chest. See if you can then take your arms out. Maybe you've got your heels down towards the floor. Maybe you're on the balls of your feet. And can we work with that internal and external rotation? So we're going to see if we can drop that left knee down towards the floor. And then bring it back up. We're then going to see if we can drop the right knee down towards the floor. And bring it back up. One more time. Take it down. Bring it up. Take it down. And bring it up. Wherever you are, take your hands to the floor. Bring the soles of your feet together. Externally rotate through those hips. And quite a lot of internal rotation. Hold on to those toes. And we just start to draw our head down towards our heels. So just be gentle, be mindful. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Good stuff. And then gently come up. So our final pose today is going to be a pigeon pose. And we're going to use the strap to go a little bit deeper into it if you want to as well. So making sure that strap is to hand and coming onto all fours. So this is a really great release. I personally love pigeon pose. However, some people, it's like, Mom, I think you either love it or you hate it. So we're going to start with our left leg. We're going to bring our left knee up towards our left wrist. We're then going to walk, maybe you assist it with your right hand, your left foot over towards the right hand side. So you're trying to draw that left foot over to the right side of the mat. It may not go very far, maybe you're quite far off your right palm like I seem to be today. Maybe you can get it more shin, more parallel with the top of the mat. From here, we're pulling the chest up, looking forwards and lifting the chest. We're trying to sink our hips down towards the floor, not open them out to the side. So you're trying to drop that right hip down. So you've got the bony part of the hip, the frontal hip bone pointing down towards the floor. Come up onto your fingertips and lift through the chest. opening here. And if you want to take it deeper, either using your strap or maybe just reaching back with your hand, we're going to take the strap around the right foot and we're going to draw that right leg in. So like we did earlier, you're coming into this position. This comes into the beginnings of what's called a mermaid pose. Breathing in and out. Maybe you've got your arm wrapped around it, maybe you've got your elbow, whatever's available to you. I'm demonstrating with the strap. We're trying to drop the right hip down towards the floor. Breathing in and out. Nicely done. Gently release the leg and the strap. Bring the hand down to the floor. Keep the left leg where it is. Come down onto your forearms. Maybe you stack your hands one on top of the other and take your head onto the back of the hands. Maybe you bring your head all the way down onto the backs of your forearms. We drop that right hip down and we just find the breath. Feeling that release through the outside of the left glute. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Nice and gently come back up. Walk your hands in, tuck your right toes under, take it back to all fours. And we're going to come into the other side. So we're going to bring our right leg up, taking your right knee towards your right wrist, and then drawing your right foot towards your left wrist. Walk the left leg out and behind you, come up onto the fingertips, look forwards and lift up, finding height here, breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. And then if you want to stay here, making sure that your hips are pointing down towards the floor. If you want to take your left hand back, reach for the foot, or if I could do it, see if you can take your strap around the foot, draw it in towards you and open through the quad. So your right hand is there for support. You're lifting up, looking forwards and breathing into it here. Inhaling and exhaling. And again, inhaling and exhaling. One more big breath in and out. And then release the strap, release your leg, bring your hands, maybe one stacked on top of the other, maybe the forehead onto the back of the hands, maybe just letting the head find the mat or the back of the arms. And take a few big deep breaths here. Sinking into that right glute, dropping the left hip down towards the floor. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And then nice and gently come all the way back up. Push into your palms, extend both of your legs out and away from you. And we're going to finish in a seated position today. So rolling your shoulders back and down, lifting through the crown of the head. And I want you to change your legs. So rather than having them in the natural position that you would, change it over. I'm going to come and sit a little bit further forward so that you can see me. Hi. So finding that seated cross-legged position on our mat. Close your eyes, roll your shoulders back and down. And we're just going to take a few moments finding the breath. So big breath in and big breath out. Maybe your back of the hands are resting on your knees. Maybe they're resting in your lap. Just see if you can relax the shoulders, sit up a little bit taller. With your eyes closed, Your jaw is slightly relaxed. Maybe your mouth is open a little bit. Breathing in and out of the nose. Big, deep belly breaths. And together we're going to breathe in for 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. And then a big exhale, a sigh of breath. Inhale. Hold. And again, a big exhalation. One more of those, a big breath in. And let it out. Rub your palms together, creating friction. Place your warm palms in front of your eyes. Thank yourself for turning up on your mat, for doing a little bit of stretching, allowing your body to soften a touch. Open your eyes in the warmth. And thank you for joining me this afternoon. So as always, wonderful to see all of you that join us on Zoom and on Instagram. Thank you. I hope your hamstrings feel a little bit looser. That kind of stretching is really good for the body, just to allow us to kind of stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system, which is all about resting and recovering, which is what we need at this time when you're doing a little bit of chilling, maybe if you're on a break, or if you're doing a lot of sitting down or walking maybe. So I hope that you're enjoying the time in the sun, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye.